Glitz and glam, sparkle and shimmer. UNO's dance team is heading to Florida. I'm Nikita Williams, and coming up, see the hard work and dedication this team puts in every week to get to nationals.
And I'm Melissa Ring. Later, we'll show you how one Omaha man is using his international travels to teach children across the country about the cultures of the world. These stories and more coming up. The Omaha News starts right now.
This is the Omaha News, presented by the School of Communication at the University of Nebraska at Omaha, from the studios of UNO Television.
Part gymnastics, part rhythm, part sheer talent. It takes a combination of all three just to make it on the University of Nebraska Omaha dance team.
They've made it that far already, but now they're competing to become the best in the nation. What's standing in their way? Almost 7,000 other dancers at the National Dance Alliance College competition in Florida.
Let's go! Kicks, leaps, and turns. The UNO dance team is getting ready for their national competition.
We go to Daytona Beach, Florida, and it's a cheer and dance college national championship.
And Coach Lisa Martin knows how important nationals are to a dancer.
In Nebraska, at least, there's not a college competition for colleges to compete at. Nationals is one of the only ways that college dance teams can go and compete. It's just like March Madness.
Preparing for nationals has brought the team together.
But for many girls, this is so much more than just a dance team.
If I didn't do this team, I wouldn't have some of the best friends I've made in college.
And the team helped junior Bree Copenhaver decide she'd like to pursue dance after college.
When I graduate, I hope to move to Dallas and try out for the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
Forming bonds and competing nationally, this team is
way more than just a dance team.
For the Omaha News, I'm Beth Ryan.
The team placed 7th last year in the Division I category. They're hoping to break into the top 5 this year. You can catch the competition on CBS Sports Network Friday morning.
A former Douglas County CSI chief has been ordered to pay $6.5 million to 2 men he framed in 2006 on a double homicide investigation. The decision issued by a federal judge orders David Kofod to pay the money for compensation and punitive damages to Matthew Livers and Nicholas Sampson. Livers and Sampson served months in jail back in 2006 after being charged for the murders of Wayne and Sharman Stock of Murdock, Nebraska. Kofod, who was a lead CSI investigator of the case, was later found guilty of planting blood evidence in a supposed getaway car associated with the crime. 2 teenagers from Wisconsin later pled guilty to the murders and were issued life sentences. Kofod, who maintains his innocence, served 2 years in prison for evidence tampering.
It's been in the planning stages for years, but now 2 Metro Fire Departments have become one operation. The Papillion Fire Department formally took over fire and rescue services in La Vista Tuesday. Previously, La Vista was staffed with a volunteer fire department, but blazing growth within the community made it difficult for volunteers to handle. The new fire district will serve more than 60,000 people in Papillion, La Vista, and will be staffed by 51 full-time firefighters at 4 firehouses 24/7.
Many families in the metro go hungry every day. Looking for a way to help, UNO marketing students pulled together to raise money for a cause that will help fill the stomachs for those in need.
There's a lot of planning and research that goes into doing something like this.
A few members from a UNO marketing class put together a benefit for Food Bank for the Heartland to raise money and awareness to help eliminate hunger in communities. They provide emergency and supplemental food to people in need in Nebraska and western Iowa.
It's something that hits home with all of us, seeing people that go hungry, it's terrible to see, and anything we can do to help, we'd love to.
Not only is this event benefiting Johnny Sortino's and Food Bank for the Heartland, it's also helping students prepare for their futures in marketing. Students split up into groups and chose a business of their choice and a charity of their choice. It's then up to them to get the business to sponsor the event and get the word out on their specific goal. Food Bank for the Heartland is a nonprofit organization that distributes food to 285 food pantries, emergency shelters, and other nonprofit partners.
It gives you a lot of practice between doing a lot of social media marketing and you know, just networking and, you know, kind of just trying to get your name out there and let people know, you know, what you've been up to, and I think, you know, that kind of thing.
Anyone can donate to this charity. There are a few ways you can help. You can donate food, make a cash donation, or host your own fundraiser. To find out more, visit omahafoodbank.org.
Coming up on the Omaha News, find out how UNO's baseball team is doing in their start to the regular season. Omaha News reporter J.R. Cantor will have that later. And we'll also be sitting down with the Omaha Storm Chasers general manager in a live interview.
But after the break, we'll be joined live by Omaha News reporter Jasmine Thompson. She'll bring us the story of a boxer right here in the Metro who's fighting for his dreams. That's next when the Omaha News returns. Stay with us.
PBS is the place you should go first.
There are no advertisers to be satisfied, only an audience to be satisfied.
We take our responsibility as journalists very seriously. We are constantly thinking about our viewers and what they care about.
We want to let you know what the information is, and then you decide what you want to think.
At the News Hour, we are after the facts and only the facts.
You've always known you were a leader, someone who works hard to achieve your goals. You can see it. You can see your success in front of you. You pursue a college education for the old-fashioned reasons, to learn, to make yourself more valuable, to succeed. You need a place that celebrates your ambition and positions you alongside visionary people just like you. You, my friend, belong here, the University of Nebraska at Omaha.
UNO TV invites you to take a journey around the world, to lush jungles with endangered species, to exotic lands and different cultures, to lost cities beneath the sands. Travel through time to see ancient secrets on the other side of the world, the growth of the American West, or the start of Nebraska's largest city, or just explore our state. Find out about Nebraska in World War II. Learn how Omaha has grown since. Discover the effort to renovate its green spaces, the history of one of its most impressive buildings, or look at its internationally recognized university. For over 20 years, UNO TV has produced award-winning documentaries that explore, educate, and enlighten. To find out more, call 402-554-2516 or visit unotv.unomaha.edu.
You're watching the Omaha News.
Welcome back. World Lightweight Champion Ricky Burns had to give up his 3-year title and belt to one of Nebraska's own. Omaha News reporter Jasmine Thompson joins us now with more.
Thanks, Nikita. 26-year-old Terrence Crawford is this year's new lightweight champion of the world. Standing 5'8" and weighing 135 pounds, this victor has not lost one fight this year. But what does a champion do after getting everything he's ever dreamed of?
And the new there it is, Terrence Crawford. Wow. Champion of the world. A moment of history for the American. The first.
Small-town dreams turn into big-time championships.
It was a goal ever since I was little, but I didn't see it as it is.
Terrence Crawford is an undefeated professional boxer in the lightweight division. He's the current lightweight champion of the world, born and raised right here in Omaha, Nebraska.
So what were some of the things and people who motivated Terrence to do better?
My whole family, my team, everybody was supportive and keeping my head straight and pushing me to do, you know, what I did that night.
B&B Boxing Academy is Crawford's own place of training, open free of charge for young boxers to be in a positive environment. So what is he doing now that his boxing season is finally over?
Right now I'm just enjoying the moment, you know. Before I get back into training, I've been doing a little running, like exercise, just to keep my body from just not doing nothing, you know. So I still been working out here and there.
Crawford says what he did that night was more special than just winning the world title, because we've never had a black champion in Nebraska. But whether he gets a new title, car, or belt, you can always find him right here, doing what he loves the most. Crawford says if people didn't know his name before, they sure do now. And for him, fighting for what he truly wanted ultimately helped him achieve his dreams. Nikita, back to you.
Thanks, Jasmine. A new rule passed this week by the U.S. Department of Transportation will mandate rear-view cameras in all new cars built after May 1st, 2018. The news comes the same week a Hastings, Nebraska toddler was struck by a vehicle and killed while playing in his home driveway. The rear-view cameras will be required on all road-legal vehicles weighing under 10,000 pounds. Many new vehicles today come with cameras as standard or optional features. The National Highway Safety Transportation Agency cites an average of 210 fatalities and thousands of injuries every year resulting from backup incidents. Children under 5 account for 31% of those deaths.
Unfortunately, rear-view cameras couldn't have helped General Motors foresee imminent problems as the company has issued more vehicle recalls this week. GM expanded the recall of, quote, an abundance of caution regarding problems with the ignition switch on some of its vehicles. Over the past 6 weeks, GM has 8 separate recalls regarding 6.3 million vehicles.
The risk is that the switch may move out of the run position, resulting in a loss of electrical power and a possible engine shutoff. So what models are affected? 2005 to 2007 Chevrolet Cobalts and Pontiac's G5s, 2003-2007 Saturn Ions, 2006-2007 Chevrolet HHRs, 2006-2007 Pontiac Solstices, and 2007 Saturn Skies. Owners of the affected vehicles should contact their dealer for repairs and should remove all items on key rings as though may carry added weight and could move the switch out of position.
After leaving a successful career over a decade ago, Dean Jacobs never looked back. Now, a 2-year journey around the world has led him dedicated his life to education, and he's reaching children from Ralston to the depths of the rainforest half a world away.
And my mission now is to teach kids to fall in love with the world, or teach people or remind people to fall in love with the world, with the belief system that if they have a connection or relationship to it, we stand a better chance for people to take care of it.
Dean's current endeavor is bringing a textbook he co-authored into the digital age.
Technology is great as long as it helps you educate and inspire and not just entertain, right? Otherwise, it just kind of passes time. And a lot of people are still trying to figure out how to use technology to fulfill the education mandate.
Dean has partnered with the guys at Celis Mellon to make his ebook a reality.
Because the book uses different types of media, sound, video, widgets that allow you to take quizzes and draw, we should use books that maximize how students learn.
Funds from the book, combined with donations to his foundation, allows Dean to continue his vocation to the people of the Amazon.
When I'm there, then they walk me through the forest and they teach me about the Amazon rainforest. The kids do. And I video it and I take stills on it, and eventually that'll be school materials that I will then transform to bring back here or use here to help us understand the Amazon rainforest through the eyes and through the heart of the Achuar. Well, that's a win-win thing. We give them the support material, the materials they need to educate themselves, and then they share with us the wisdom and the knowledge they have of the rainforest.
For the Omaha News, I'm Matthew Everson.
The book Wondrous Creatures Explore a World of Animals from A to Z will initially be made available through Apple's iBookstore. After the break, we'll be joined on set to talk baseball with Omaha News reporter J.R. Cantor and Storm Chasers General Manager Marty Cordero.
JR will also update us on UNO's baseball season. Could the Mavs tame the Wildcats of Kansas State in extra innings last night? Find out when the Omaha News continues right after this.
KVNO was in a really interesting place. This Victorian mansion near UNO.
3 floors. The studios were on the 3rd floor.
Bedrooms and bathrooms. So we had a challenge, but we ultimately ended up with an on-air studio.
We soundproofed it with carpet, and actually I think it sounded really warm, very radio friendly.
There were also rumors that the third floor was haunted. Those were the maid's chambers, as we were told.
I had a sink in the office and leaded glass windows which looked out on the stable house in the back.
One colleague talking about having the window open one day, a warm spring or fall day, and a squirrel jumping through the window onto a turntable.
It was a great place, a great ambiance for a fine arts station.
It definitely had a charm to it.
About how you're feeling right now. One thing you would like our viewers to know about this state.
The importance of volunteerism.
What are you saying to folks?
I'm here to discuss these images.
When you can take that knowledge and that expertise and that passion in terms that they're all going to understand.
They need to know the real stories.
I'm Kathy Wyatt. Join us for Consider This each week on NET1.
NET Television expands your mind, enlightens your mind, inspires your mind, educates your mind, entertains your mind. NET Television opens up new worlds to you. Explore, travel, learn, discuss, debate. NET Television keeps you informed. Music, theater, dance, art, news. NET Television awakens your dreams, seeks to serve, strengthens our communities. We are Nebraskans. We are NET Television, Nebraska's PBS station.
You're watching the Omaha News.
Welcome back to the Omaha News. Spring is here, and that means that baseball season is upon us. Omaha News reporter J.R. Cantor joins us now with a look at sports and what to expect this baseball season.
Thanks, Nikita. Last night, the Mavericks took to the Diamond Ball Diamond against the Wildcats of K-State. Things didn't go good early for UNO, but late in the game, a rally was good enough to pull UNO through it. We'll find out.
Last night, the Omaha Mavericks took on the Kansas State Wildcats for only the 8th time in school history. Going into last night's game, the Mavericks had an 0-7 all-time record against the Wildcats, with their last meeting ending with K-State's winning run coming in due to a wild pitch. The Mavericks took a 1-0 lead in the third, but Kansas State soon answered with 2 runs in the 5th, plus 2 more between the 6th and 7th innings. Omaha rallied back in the bottom of the 7th to tie it all up with 4s. The Wildcats struck again in the 9th inning, but Omaha's Clayton Taylor took it upon himself to tie the game up with a solo home run for Clayton Taylor. Junior reliever Cole Volkers came in during the top of the 10th inning and pitched lights out. In the bottom of the inning, Mavericks' Cole Gruber was walked and then stole second. Sophomore Alex Schultz drove Gruber in with a walk-off hit. Schultz said that everybody on the team was on an emotional high after the game.
And, it was huge by Clayton to give us the tie in the 9th and send us into extras. And Volkers came in and pitched great, and it was a big team win for us.
Omaha's head coach Bob Harold said it felt good to beat K-State. It was even sweeter with it being at home.
Stepped up at home a little better than they did here. I'm not to take away from them because they had some, they got a wonderful club, but it's good to get them in Omaha. We don't have to get on the bus tonight and drive home. They do.
After last night's win, the Mavericks move on to a record of 17-11, while K-State drops to 13-9.
Tonight, the Mavs will face Creighton. For the first time, the crosstown rivals will play each other this season. The game will be played at Warner Park. Speaking of Warner Park, the ball field is going to be busy this week with UNO's field and then also the regular team, the Omaha Storm Chasers. Thursday, the Storm Chasers open up a 4-game series against Nashville. Joining me now to discuss last season's championships and the upcoming season is Omaha Storm Chasers General Manager Marty Cordero. Thanks for joining me today, Marty.
Yeah, great to be here, JC. Thanks.
So just a couple questions I want to ask you. With this recent championship, do you feel like there's going to be an increase in attendance?
Yeah, sometimes that happens in professional sports. You would think that a championship would lead to increased attendance, but really what we sell day in, day out is about, fun, affordable fun, and great different promotional opportunities. So we hope so, but a lot of it is based in promotions and weather. But a lot of great baseball. More than 71% of our players go on to play Major League Baseball. So yeah, we hope that it does positively impact attendance.
Is this their first championship?
This was our first AAA national championship. It was our 6th overall Pacific Coast League championship. So, you know, but it was nice to be able to get the first national title, yeah.
So how does it feel to share a field with UNO?
You know, it's great. You know, one of the things we committed to Sarpy County when we were trying to build the Field of Dreams, if you will, and trying to come up with what does success look like, was having a number of community events and community partners, and not only charitable events, but also local high school teams, and in particular Omaha's college baseball team, UNO. So it's great to have Coach Harold and the guys out and working with Trev Alberts and Josh White and Mike Kemp. It's been fantastic to work with them. So, you know, we hope fans will come out tonight and see them play Creighton, and if not, come out on April 30th and see them play the Huskers at Warner Park.
Now, how are you guys preparing for this series against Nashville?
You know, opening day in baseball is somewhat spiritual, if you will. I don't know how tomorrow's going to hold out weather-wise, but you know, we're planning on a great season. We have a lot of new things in the ballpark that we're going to unveil, and you know, just ready for another great 72 games of championship baseball.
Okay, have you guys gained any prospects from last year's team?
Yeah, you know, there's a good core group back from last year, but there's a number of guys that are up from AA, which is Northwest Arkansas and Springdale, Arkansas, JC, and yeah, you know, we're kind of the odds-on favorite to win the division again for the for the 4th straight year. But you never know until the little white ball's rolled out there on the mound and you get started. But you know, we're eagerly anticipating the start of the season tomorrow.
Okay, who is the top prospect that everybody should be looking for?
Yeah, for us, probably in the starting rotation, look for 2 guys. Chris Dwyer, he threw 6 2/3 innings of perfect baseball last year in the national championship game. He'll be back as our #1 starter. And then Danny Duffy will be back in the rotation. Okay. And then in the infield, outfield, probably the best hitter would be Christian Colon. He'd be the second baseman. He'd be the one to look at.
Okay. Did you guys lose anybody from last season?
Yeah, a number of guys have moved on to other teams or some on to Kansas City to help the Royals out.
Okay. Well, Marty, I want to thank you for joining us. If you'd like to attend tonight or tomorrow night's game, you can still purchase tickets at omahastormchasers.com.
Springtime isn't just about baseball. For thousands of college students across the country, this season also means that graduation is just around the corner. When the Omaha News returns, find out tips to help cope with the stress that comes with completing that degree. We'll be back.
To go above.
It was something new.
Or reach beyond.
Oh my gosh, it's fantastic.
When you want to peer inside.
There's something wrong here. This isn't normal.
It would seem almost impossible. Or push the limit.
Large tornado! It's humongous! You need to get out now!
When you want to dive deep.
These divers are like astronauts.
Our human nature is to push into places that we don't know about.
Or go to the edge.
There are other worlds out there.
We don't know exactly what we're going to find.
When you want to find new frontiers.
I was truly astonished.
You just don't ever know.
Nova.
Wednesdays on NET1.
The University of Nebraska at Omaha is a place for tomorrow's leaders. A place where individuals converge on a path to success, getting the attention and direction they need as they begin their career. It's where students take pride in serving Omaha, a city we've invested in for more than 100 years. UNO is a place where greatness begins. The University of Nebraska at Omaha.
Springtime has made its grand entrance, and while some are trying to plan their next semester, senior college students are on the road to graduation day. Balancing job applications and big semester projects, stress levels can reach a boiling point.
The only way I could describe it is like I feel like I'm drowning
with my head just a little bit above the water, and I'm just trying to keep breathing.
For many college students, school is turned into a whirlwind of to-do lists and finishing touches. And if you have a job and are heavily involved in school, graduation can be just one more thing to add to the stress bucket. A feeling all too familiar for future graduate Joy Katharima.
It's just a continual level of stress with higher peaks at some places.
Katharima, who takes 19 credits, has 2 jobs, and participates in extracurriculars, says her daily duties definitely affect her after hours.
I just feel overwhelmed a lot, and I don't have enough sleep.
So what's the key to de-stressing? According to Randy Tarrant of the Huffington Post, some healthy tips include thinking of what you're grateful for, give compliments, relax, practice patience, and to meditate. Dr. Jay Irwin, advisor of the sociology department, says a common stress factor he sees in students is the worry of what comes after graduation.
If it's talk about graduate school, how do I do that? Those types of conversations are sometimes the more kind of stress-inducing conversations around graduation. Not necessarily do I have everything that I need, but what do I do now?
Irwin believes the stress that happens over graduation is a good stress, and he recommends simply embracing the day and sharing the experience with the ones you love.
Enjoy it, make the most of it. It's not something you get to do again usually.
Here are some facts to consider. 23% of full-time undergrad students work an average of 20 hours a week or more. Less than 1/3 of Americans hold at least a bachelor's degree, and the average annual income for 47% of undergrad students' families is less than $40,000.
An 8.2 magnitude earthquake that struck off the northern Chilean coast Tuesday triggered a tsunami. Chile's National Emergency Office tweeted that it wanted everyone to evacuate the nation's coast. The earthquake hit just after 6:45 p.m. local time and was centered 60 miles off the coast of the South Pacific Ocean. The death toll rose by at least 6 Wednesday morning. More than 2,500 homes sustained serious structural damage.
That does it for this edition of the Omaha News. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week with all news stories from our reporters.
From all of us here at the Omaha News, good night.
UNO Television gives students a chance to work in a real studio. Working on the TV crew, students get hands-on experience with lights, camera, and action. Working on a variety of shows gives students a leg up looking for jobs. In fact, many former crew members work at local stations. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience for students to learn the science and art of TV production. UNO TV, student crew, professional staff, award-winning results.
When will you look deep into space? When will you travel back in time? When will you experience the power of red? When? Anytime. Online at video.netnebraska.org. Search, select, and share with the NET Video Player. Watch our shows on your schedule.
What if there were a neighborhood where every child felt they belonged, and a big dog helped them stay little a little longer? A monkey helped them find the wonder in every little thing. flightless bird showed them how to soar. Support the people and programs that never stop asking, what if?